Hickok 45 here. Hickok 45 here. No, you're not hearing and seeing double. It's actually happening. 4 shots, 4 hits, 2 shots. How'd that happen? And 2 more. How about a 2-liter? How about a miss? Yeah, Hickok 45. We've got the double-barreled Thunderstruck Volleyfire revolver. Look at that barrel. We know we're clear, right? You see those 2 barrels? Yes, it shoots twice. Y'all requested it, and we thought, oh yes, this is the Thunderstruck. I think it was manufactured by AC/DC. Nah, that was a joke. But see, Thunderstruck. It was struck by thunder. I didn't know Thunderstruck, but that's what it is, the Volleyfire. And it's 22 Magnum, double barrel, you know, standard manufacturing. They're big on double barreled items, aren't they? As you have seen, the old DP12 that John has, he really likes it and works well. So they know what they make these 1911s and those single action Colt clones that might be better than the originals. You know, so they know what they're doing. But now this is a different sort of animal, okay? I'm going to be objective about it, give you my opinion. It's what you pay us for, the big bucks. Let you know what I think about it and what the positives and what the negatives are on this thing, all right? So it is a revolver. It sells for around 400 bucks. It's, you know, it's pretty good materials, I think. It's 70-75 aircraft grade aluminum and steel cylinder, steel barrel. It's got all that. It's got a trigger block, firing pin block, so it's not going to fire until you get that trigger back. It's got a safety on the trigger. You know, it's supposed to be very, very safe. And, you know, and even though it shoots 2 shots with 1 trigger pull, it's not considered a machine gun. It is a gun, and it's a machine, but it's not considered by the ATF as a machine gun. So you got it cleared by that. Because, you know, their definition is something to do with, you know, 1 pull the trigger, more than 1 shot, it's a machine gun, all that sort of thing. But I guess because it's a revolver, they didn't get too excited about that. You know, you never know how they're going to rule on something. Just like bump stocks, I think for 2 or 3 times they ruled that it was fine, and then they changed their mind. You know, mainly due to political pressure, I guess. But anyway, so we're clear, we're safe with this baby. Let me put the snap caps back in and show you a couple things because you know, it's better to fire on those. Show you before I fire it again. Okay, so you got the 2 barrels, of course, so you're going to get 2 shots when you pull that trigger. And it is 22 Magnum, which is a pretty stout little round for 22. Okay, nothing to sneeze at. I didn't bring out a 22 long rifle, but you know, that's bigger than a 22 long rifle. And they've got they pack a little bit of punch and a little bit of penetration. So you get 2 of those out. It holds 8 in the cylinder. So how many trigger pulls do you get? Quick, Uncle Ralph in Kentucky, how many? Quick, quick, quick. He'll never get it. Oh, so you get 4 trigger pulls, 2 shots per, holds 8. Mathematical genius that I am. So that's what you got. And you are advised heavily, and you really almost have to get both fingers on the trigger. Okay, how's that? You almost can't pull it with one. I mean, you got to prove your manhood, womanhood, but and that's tough to do. Okay, plus you got to grab it down here at the very bottom of the grip, because look at the trigger, it comes back against the grip. So it's a good thing you got the finger grooves on that grip, you reckon? Those finger grooves do a lot of good there because you cannot have a finger on the finger grooves, all right? So anyway, I don't know why they did that. So there's no trigger guard, but it's a very stiff trigger. It's over 20 pounds. So I mean, even with both fingers, you know, it's not easy to pull, okay? I would not advise this. You know, we just did a video on, I don't know when you see these videos, because I don't know what your schedule is and, you know, when you're at your computer or TV and when you're, what your work hours are. So I never really know when all of you watch our videos. But if you have seen the video, if it has been posted yet, of the new Shield 9 EZ, you know, Shield M&P, it's designed for people with weak hands and that kind of thing. And I don't think this one is, because even with 2 fingers, you know, that's not an easy pull on that thing. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's just not easy. So the materials, it seems to be made well. I even read the manual to disassemble it and said, you know, start taking off this. So I took the grip off. Now I looked at it again and said, well, wait a minute, it jumps to assembly. And it said right away, there's no need to disassemble it any further. You know, get a gunsmith or whatever. So, okay, so I slipped it back on. Why did I do that? I was going to disassemble it for you. But it's recommended not to go any further than that. And, okay, so no trigger guard. What else? You got this big, long trigger. You see the trigger pin there, just like a lot of modern polymer pistols have. And that blocks the trigger. So you almost can't pull it with 1 finger. So you're not going to accidentally pull this trigger, no doubt about it. So that's what is supposed to make it really safe, okay? And before I go any further, let me remind you about what's on the table. Look at all that pretty stuff from APMEX, American Precious Metal Exchange, a supporter of the Hickok 45 channel, and we love them for doing that. It's great. Precious metals, they've got everything. Check the sites in our description, and if you like that kind of thing at all, coins, numismatic coins, bullion coins of all sorts, and like you'll see this ladies old like $50 and things like that on there occasionally. I mean, you can get those by the bag or the roll, silver dollar, whatever. So they've got all that stuff. So check them out. Okay. It's an awkward pistol to use. Bottom line is, I'm not sure about it. You had better, if you like this, and this really floats your boat, you think it would, and you want to buy one, I highly recommend you put that in there and you practice it a lot, even before you shoot the first time. Get a feel for how it shoots, what it takes, because it's so odd putting both fingers on the trigger for one thing. And I think it's really designed to not even need a holster. It's supposed to be so safe. Now, I would have to have a pocket holster, I think. I'm going to put it in my pocket, because it would be hard to fire it. It would be hard to get that trigger pulled accidentally, that's for sure. It's not easy to pull when you want to pull it, okay? So you could reach in there and get it out. Now, I still wouldn't want to put both my fingers on the trigger, even though it's a really heavy pull when I grab it in my pocket, because under stress, you just don't know. But if I were going to do it without a holster, I'd grab that stock or that grip and bring it out and then get my hands on that trigger. And I ain't too smart. That may be the reason, but I have had to kind of work with it a bit. It looks like, hey, this is not too hard to use. You know, like picking it up and putting those fingers on there, pulling the trigger, aiming, and I hit the cowboy. It's taken me some time to get to that point. John will vouch for that. I mean, even get your fingers on the trigger right, and it just feels so awkward. Okay, so you would want to really work with it and mess with it. Okay, because you cannot get a grip up here. You can't grip it up too high. These 2 fingers have to stay out of the way. Look how that trigger. Look where that trigger is. For it to fire, that trigger is going to be back there, and so you cannot have any fingers up there at all, even if you want to. So this would be a very bad grip. It wouldn't work. Again, even if you could pull it with one hand. You saw me do it with one finger, I mean, but there's no need to. This finger has to be out of the way in order to do that, or I have to grip it way down here to do that. So to fire with one hand, one finger, yeah, that's kind of out of the question. If you're going to hit anything. All right. So that's kind of the awkwardness of it. One of the negatives too is, no matter how proficient you get with it and comfortable you get with it, the reset. Now again, I have large hands. It may not be as bad for you, but that trigger, getting it all the way back, you just want to pull it before it's back, and you got to let it go all the way back. And my knuckle is against that. So now, of course, that's a reference point. You know that you're going to have to feel it, like go all the way forward to get it up there. And then, of course, keeping the sights on the target to hit where you want to hit through all of that could be a little bit of a challenge. All right. So we'll shoot a little bit more. All right, send this .2 mag out of here. And, yeah. Now, whatever I determine about this firearm, however negative I am, I want to color that with the fact that I really appreciate companies, you know, innovating like this and trying new things. Standard Manufacturing, they're a quality outfit. They make some of the best shotguns on the planet, and it's Colt, well, or not Colt, but single action, Army clones, you know, 1911s, and other guns. They have some expertise. All right, this does not come from some company, some startup company trying to make it in the gun business. Hey, let's start out by making something like this and get everybody's attention. You know, this comes from a company that really knows what they're doing, and they make quality stuff. That DP-12 was a good example of that. That's kind of a weird piece of machinery, I think, but the thing works. So, and this is, it seems to work, even though it's weird. So let's put a couple on the paper here. Okay. Now I have a little trouble hitting with it very well, but I'm going to pull up and shoot it. Try that again. That's interesting, right? Let me see where I hit. Okay. You know, I was at about 5 yards, I guess. So I got them all. I forgot it does tend to shoot a little high. So, you know, minute a bad guy, you know, is basically your accuracy is all you're worried about, I guess. But again, accuracy, by that I mean how well you can shoot it. It's probably more accurate than I am if you put it in a vise. But I don't know. See if I can get that out of there. I hope I don't have to stop and clean this crazy thing before we wrap up. But see if I have my, yeah, I got a knife here. I need a pad on that. There we go. Getting a little tight. 22 Magnum, I mean, they're pretty powerful. They do expand a bit. They're probably more reliable than 22 long rifle, generally speaking, although that depends on what ammo you're using. I think it's got a pretty strong hammer fall. From what I've read from other folks, they've not had misfires that I've seen. You know, if you know anything else, you know, feel free to share on this thing. But it's designed to be shot at like 3 yards. I think they even say that, the company. It's a 3-yard gun. And 3 yards, all right, yeah, once you get familiar with it, you know, get that trigger to where you know how it works, and yeah, okay, it's probably gonna work. Oh man, it's something. Let's look at it and see where the bullets hit. They hit fairly close if you're not too far away, and what a piece of hardware. Like I say, it's okayed by the ATF, so we feel like we're safe here. Won't get arrested for shooting a machine gun. It's interesting to try out different things, I'll have to say. Even if it's something I probably would have no interest in. Yeah, those are getting tight. I may have to clean. All right, let's. I've got the big ones freshly painted, as we usually do. So what I thought I'd try to do here first is have a little bit of distance. I wouldn't recommend this thing much more than 3 yards. It is, I do see this. Everybody says that about snub nose. Well, they're designed for arm's length, or, you know, 4 or 5 yards, 7 yards, and that kind of thing. Yeah, which is kind of true, but you can take a snub nose revolver and a lot of really small firearms, and you've seen me do it, John, and a lot of people, able to hit something at 50 yards with them, you know, or 100 maybe, you know, just depending on the size of the target. But now this, yeah, I'll take their word for it. You don't want much distance, but especially under stress. Let's try the tombstone there. I think I'm going to hold a little bit. I want to kind of get a better idea of the spread. I don't know whether to start far or maybe I'll start it close and then I'll back up. Let's do it that way. Well, I'm going to stay here. This is further than 3 or 4 yards, but a little safer. Okay. You saw what it did at about 5. All right, one more. Well, that's a sprint. Yeah, messed up. Okay. So I think that's about 6 yards. Let's back up a little more. I'll shoot the coffin, just since it's not been hit yet. over there, because it's that same, now we're back up here a ways. Yeah, this would definitely be the limit. I'd want to shoot this thing. See the spread there. There you go. First two were kind of horizontal, then we got a vertical spread. What else has not been shot? Well, I'll shoot that again. Now let's go with the tombstone over there, because all those hits are kind of close together. We can probably spot our new hits. Is it empty? Yeah, I guess it is. Hey, I'm the one that told you it holds 8 rounds. So what do? I fire 8 and expect to get more out of it. Okay. So let's load it up again. So, you know, if you could produce it and get a good trigger pull, you know, you'd be okay at those ranges, I guess. But it's a bird. It really is. This is a firearm you definitely want to try out. Let me put it that way. You know, I always recommend that. And I don't know how many gun shops, you know, those big gun shops that have a nice indoor range and have rental guns. I don't know how many of these you're going to find in the rental case on the shelf. But I'd ask them for one, or someone who owns one, and see if you could find one to shoot. So, what did that round fly out of there before how I did that? This just fell out. All right, I'll try from up here at the tombstone. I guess I'll hold near the bottom, see where it goes. Huh, wow. So that's 2 more hits kind of in the center section. I was holding near the bottom, so it does print kind of high. I'm gonna try that again. One randomly went low, okay. Let's try 2 more on the coffin. You can see where all the hits are there. I'll hold in the middle, kinda, so they'll be up higher maybe. Okay. Let's try the stop sign here. Okay, I think one went off maybe. Yeah. So, anyway, I don't know what that tells you. They're not going to hit too far apart at any distance. You would be using it for defense, I guess you could say. And of course, you know, 2 shots is better than 1. I guess that's the theory, right? 2 with 1 trigger pull. So what do you do with this gun? Do you advise people? It just occurred to me. Do you advise people to keep your finger off the trigger? No, you advise people to keep their fingers off the trigger, right? 1 finger on the trigger is not very dangerous. If you saw somebody with this gun like that, it wouldn't be very dangerous. Even if they could muster up enough strength to pull it, they couldn't pull the trigger. And so it's an oddball. It's an oddball, no doubt about it. So you got an 1.25 inch barrels and 2 barrels. They're steel, cylinder steel. You got a lot of polymer, but you know, so does everything else these days. And it feels solid. It's a strange bird. And again, it's got a hammer block transfer bar system where it's not supposed to be able to go off, no matter what you do with it, unless that trigger's back, and you can't pull the trigger unless you get that finger up on that one. You can't pull at all, hardly, without 2 fingers on it. Oh, one thing I was going to say, it's a bear to shoot with 2 hands. Now, I've been sort of doing that, haven't I? I don't even think, I forget. Yeah, I have. I've been sort of doing the old cup and saucer, the kind of thing that most people are not going to advise you to do when you're learning to shoot. You know, you want a better grip, you know. But with this thing, you got to break some of those rules. Because look, if I just grab it like I might grab a revolver, look where my hand is. You know, that blast. Hey, how not to shoot a revolver. Most of you have seen our video on that. So you don't want a finger up there. You don't want it on that. And you can't put it on your fingers. I mean, where do you put these other hands? You can't, there's no room down here. You're too busy keeping these fingers out of the way so the trigger can go back. So about the only choice is to kind of rest it like that. And that's not bad. Hardest part is keeping this finger out from under the trigger so it'll pull. So you really do need to keep that finger out of the way. And then to get the reset, get it all the way back out. So I'll shoot it one more time. it's awkward. It's an awkward gun to shoot. Okay, put it that way. And here's what I was going to do too. Because I guess a point I would like to make, like I say, we really appreciate the innovation, these companies, and trying new things like this, especially when they make things that are quality and well made. Even if it's a design that you don't like, and even if you think it's stupid, if it's well made, you know, at least that's something, right? But a point I would like to make about something like this is, I guess, the time it takes to learn to shoot this thing and to become proficient with this, wow, you know, you could spin it on a real gun and get a lot better, even another kind of revolver. The advantages of having 2 bullets coming out at once, believe me, is not that big a deal. It's not worth it in terms of what it takes to create a piece of machinery that will do that. All right. One thing I thought I'd do, I've got this Glock 43X loaded magazine here, and I'm gonna come back and get it. I'm gonna still do it on a paper target. Maybe, yeah, because I need to stick in my pocket. I'll come back and grab that. No, actually, I could stick that in my pocket, and it's not hot. I'll stick it in my back pocket, so I'll have it down there. I'm just gonna pull and shoot with both of them. It may turn out I shoot better with this. You know, I may hit better. I don't know. I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to put it in my pocket. Again, I would rather have a holster for it, but I do agree it'd be hard for it to go off. But okay, all right. Now I've kind of boogered up the part. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll shoot with this gun. I'll shoot at I don't know. I'll shoot at the Buds logo up there. Okay, so that's the Buds is kind of my target. Okay. So I'm at about 3 yards. That's what this thing is for. Maybe I guess it's actually a little closer. So bad guy is running at me with a knife or about to get me. So I pull it out. All right. I had a little trouble with that reset, as you noticed, okay? So I guess I got all of them on the bad guy, on the fictional bad guy. So that's empty. You saw me shoot 8. So I'll stick it in my back pocket. All right. That's the thing. I wasn't doing that on purpose, believe it or not. I'm afraid that is an issue with that firearm, though. Okay, we're hot. So it goes to a Glock, which in this firearm weighs about the same thing as that one. That's 19 ounces. With this one loaded, it's a little more than that one, but not enough to matter. All right, so I'll shoot at the Apnex logo. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll feel a little more comfortable with it. I'll shoot the SDI logo, and then I'll go back and forth. How's that? All right. So bad guys trying to get me, coming at me with a knife, and oh no, don't hurt me. I think I'd rather have this. Okay, I'd rather have a firearm that I don't think, you know, I guess I put as many hits on paper as, well, yeah, I had 10 in it, but to me, one good 9mm piece of carry ammo is at least equal to 2 22 magnums, I think. So my point there is, actually, I don't know, what's the point? Now, the point was basically, you can have a real gun. You have a regular Glock 43, you got any number of little firearms, and at decent close ranges, you're going to probably be better armed, okay? So, again, not to unnecessarily bash this thing, but I did have a round. I don't know if I had a round I didn't shoot or didn't go off, or what that was about. We haven't had anything not go off that I'm aware of, unless I got the cylinder turned. I do my knife stuck at my other right down here. Interesting gun. Just man, you'd have to really want this. It would just, if it's something that really appeals to you, yeah, go for it. Go for it, because it again, now I hate that when that happens. I think that actually came out of the cylinder. Yeah, but let me read out and count the hits. 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6. I think I hit that 8 times. So I guess that round didn't come out of the cylinder. I don't know. If maybe it rolled over there. I wasn't looking at the video. Maybe it rolled over here and this fell down on it, or I don't know. That's a problem with live videos. You don't know what's going on, right? But that's also the benefit. So, I mean, it seems to have worked well. I think the biggest negative could very well be, like, I could mess with this thing a lot and get out here. I should have this in here and practice with it a lot. And I wouldn't be as awkward with it. I have practiced some. And you practice, and they make holsters for it. There's 4 or 5 holsters for it. I think a pocket, a shoulder holster maybe, a side holster. And just work with it. And make sure I'm training myself by repetition to bring that trigger out. I didn't there, see? Get it all the way forward, you know, and just really work with it to where I feel very comfortable with it. Then maybe it's okay. But I still don't like that reset issue, and I don't think there's enough advantage to this over about, what would I say, a couple of 100 other firearms in this size category and weight category. But that's just me, interesting. You gotta see those 2 barrels there, right? Very interesting, but probably nothing I'm going to purchase, okay? So bottom line, personally I would never buy it, okay? But now you may have a different opinion, and take a look at it and see what you think about it. I don't like to unnecessarily bash, you know, a firearm that some people might really, really like. The fact that you got 2 bullets going forward with 1 trigger pull, and you know that you can work with it enough to where you got it down, okay? You're not going to do that short stroking and stuff like I was having trouble with there, son. You can manage it. You just love the idea of having 2 rounds that don't recoil that much to get good penetration, going out at the same time, getting 2 hits with 1 trigger pull. If you just get 1 trigger pull, you got 2 hits on that target. You know, I mean, you know it's going to go bang. It seems to be well made. You know, that might be enough for you. Okay, so try and give both sides of it. But me, I'll stick with a standard firearm for now. I would even choose a snub nose 38 over this. Yeah, but that's just me. Okay, so. Anything else I need to tell you about it? The Thunderstruck Volleyfire throws lots of rounds pretty quick if you can learn to manipulate the thing. So I'll let you go. I'll let you decide for yourself. If you have one, not many people maybe have them yet, let us know what you think of it. Or if you have shot one that somebody has, like at the range, or if you've even manipulated one, you picked one up at the gun show or a gun shop, just what are your impressions of it? You know, I'm just one guy, and I have 1 sample, which has worked, and it's just all we can do. Again, it's what you pay us for. Give you our opinions, even if they're feeble. So appreciate you coming by on this beautiful day in December. So it's wonderful. Life is good.
Oh yeah, that's better. This is a great gun for defense. Oh hey, didn't see you guys there. While I've got you here, I want to remind you of our friends over at Talon Grips and Ballistol. Talon Grips makes grips, can you believe it, for all different types of firearms. You can get rough texture or more of a rubberized texture. It just sticks right on there. You know, really affordable, really cool option to improve the grip for your handguns or rifles. So please check them out at talongungrips.com. You'll be glad you did. And also Ballistol. Dad has been using Ballistol for many years. It's a cleaner and a lubricant, and it's non-toxic. It works really great, and we're happy to have them on board since it's been a part of our shooting endeavor for a very long time. So go to ballistol.com, talongungrips.com, and also while you're out there, I'm juggling all these things here. Also, while you're on the internet, please do check out our other social media like Hickok45 on Facebook. There's also Hickok45 on Twitter. The Real Hickok 45 on Instagram. There's a John_Hickok45 on Instagram where I do some things. There's Hickok45.com. You can find us also on Gunstreamer. So check out all that stuff and then watch more videos.